Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chemical Guys Detail Garage. On today's video, we're talking about wash technique. We're going to jump straight into it. We're going to begin by cleaning the wheels. Now you want to clean the wheels on your vehicle first because they're the filthiest part of a vehicle. So as you can imagine, all that dirt, grime, dust, tar, brake dust that your brakes churn out and all the stuff that you drive through, all that stuff collects on your wheels, your tires, your undercarriage, and it gets all over the sides of your vehicle and the lower parts of your vehicle. So you want to make sure that you clean those areas first, because the last thing you want to worry about is spending so much time cleaning the top of your vehicle, giving it that final cherry finish, and then having to clean the wheels at the end, and then rinsing it off only to get all that dirt, grime, and contamination back onto the paint of the vehicle and having to wash it all over again. So for the wheels, we decided to go ahead and use a bucket with the dirt trap, and we used Diablo wheel gel in order to clean the wheels. Another tip that we want to give to you guys is activating your SUDS. I feel like sometimes people don't think about it, but once you put your soap into your bucket, to activate your SUDS, you want to go ahead and get a high pressure water from your nozzle from your foam blaster. Go ahead and shove it in there, give it a quick little draw, and then watch as all that foam gets activated. And once your foam is activated, you're ready to start washing. As you guys see, we use a flag tip brush to scrub the surface of the wheel. That's just to break down any kind of grime and brake dust that collects on there. We use a finer boar's hair brush to get into the tighter areas such as the lug nuts, the valve stem, and any kind of other tight areas around the wheel. And we use the nifty brush to scrub the tire, which is going to help us remove all that grime that's built up on it so that we can apply our dressing and have the most proper bond. Some tips and tricks when it comes down to cleaning wheels is using a dedicated bucket and a dirt trap for your wheels only. Now you want to make sure that you dedicate those tools and accessories for your wheels only, because you can imagine all that stuff, it's going into your bucket, your dirt trap, and your brushes. So the last thing you want to worry about is getting any kind of contamination back onto the surface of the vehicle. So that's why we recommend using different brushes, even buckets themselves. If you don't clean them out properly, then you can have like fine brake dust in there, which could potentially be a factor for scratches and swirls if you're going to go ahead and wash your vehicle with it. So always work with fresh, clean products, and don't cross-contaminate. Use separate products for different parts of your vehicle. Same thing as towels, you want to use your drying towels for drying, glass cleaning towels for glass, vice versa. So once we finished cleaning the wheels, we proceeded to clean the body of the vehicle. We gave it a light rinse, just kind of, wring out any kind of loose dirt, debris, and grime that's on the paint so that we have less of a chance for any kind of that stuff to get onto our wash mitt. So give the car a little pre-rinse before you start foaming it and washing it with the wash mitt. And this is greatly going to reduce the chance of you kind of getting any kind of imperfections in the paintwork. Once rinsed, we set up our foam blaster. We decided to go with the foam blaster just because it connects directly to our garden hose. So we don't need any kind of fancy pressure washers or anything like that. All we have to do is get our foam blaster, fill it up with some soap and water, and we're good to start foaming. Remember, when you're using your foam blaster, you want to make sure to use a dedicated snow foam shampoo. And this is greatly going to reduce the chance of scratching or swirling, because that soap, pretty much what it does while it's on your paint is it picks it up, it emulsifies it, and it encapsulates it in a nice little air bubble. It'll pretty much guide it right off the surface of your paint without any kind of dragging or without any kind of friction, so that when you wipe your wash mitt, you get a nice clean sweep and remove all that dirt and grime with no streaks left behind. So for that, we decided to go ahead and use our 2-bucket method. If you guys are not familiar with the 2-bucket method, all you need is 2 buckets, 2 dirt traps. Go ahead and set those towards the bottom. Utilize 1 bucket for your rinse and utilize 1 bucket for your soap. So what you want to do is, as you go back and forth from your vehicle with your wash mitt, you want to make sure to go ahead and rinse your wash mitt with the rinse bucket just to get any kind of dirt, grime, and particles that are on your wash mitt off, and then go ahead and dunk it back into your soap bucket to get it nice and lubricated again, and then going back to your vehicle. And that pretty much prevents any kind of dirt contamination from sticking onto your mitt and pretty much causing you to have that swirl mark effect and install any kind of scratches, swirls throughout the paintwork. Also, we decided to use 2 different color dirt traps to kind of indicate our buckets, just so that we don't have to write on our buckets or anything like that. We used our green dirt trap bucket for our soap and our red dirt trap bucket for our rinse bucket. In this video, we actually happen to use our brand new clear buckets. They make it so much more easier for you to detect any kind of grime that's in your bucket. You can also see right through it. So any kind of dirt and contamination that's sitting at the bottom of your dirt trap, you can go ahead and make better use of it so that you don't get that stuff onto your vehicle. Also, it looks really cool, and you can also use them to color coordinate your stuff, such as your soap and your rinse bucket. And to go with that, we also have our brand new white bucket dollies. Now, using a bucket dolly with you while you wash your vehicle is super easy and super convenient because it pretty much follows you around your car as you wash your vehicle. You can pull it, you can put a lid on it and sit on it and use it as a stool. You have multiple uses for it, and it's white, so it goes with your brand new clear bucket, and it looks amazing with all those beautiful colors from your snow foam or any of your favorite Chemical Guy soap. So once we finish washing the vehicle, we give it a full rinse using our nozzle from our foam blaster. We can actually use that as just a water hose nozzle to rinse off our car. So that's what we did. We rinsed it off completely from any kind of soap, debris, grime, or any kind of residue that was still in the paint so that we can get it ready for the drying process. For the drying process, we decided to go with our waffle weave towel. It has a waffle-like texture. So just like waffles trap syrup, this waffle weave towel traps liquids and water into it so that your drying experience is so much more easier. You can pretty much grab your towel, wipe it one direction, and scoop off all that water in just one wipe. It has the ultra banded silk line, so that silk lining on the towel, it prevents you from collecting any kind of dirt or grime along the edges so that you don't create any kind of scratches or swirls on your paintwork. So it makes it super soft, super durable, and super safe for your paint. And now that we're done washing our vehicle, we can use our cool new buckets as a storage method. So I like putting all my wash related stuff into my buckets. You can also use it to store a bunch of towels, your drying towels, any other kind of products that pretty much fit inside your bucket. Put a lid on it, throw it in your back seat, and you're good to go. And those are just some of our tips and tricks and techniques that we want to give to you guys for washing your vehicle. This was just a little handful of some of the things that we do here. If you do have any of your wash techniques that maybe we didn't share, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. If you have any questions about any of the products that we use today, also make sure to leave them in the comment section down below and we'll get those answered for you. If you guys like any of the products that we use today, or if you want to go ahead and pick up your brand new clear Chemical Guys bucket and or white bucket dolly, make sure to visit our website, chemicalguys.com. My name is Joey. This is Chemical Guys Detail Garage. We'll see you guys next time. Woo!